Hey, yo, guys, I got a new VR treadmill. This is KatVR's Katwalk C2 Plus. This is a omnidirectional VR treadmill. A lot of you guys saw the Katwalk C2 Core review I did just a few months ago, and shout out to you guys for watching that video. It's my biggest video so far, and I am appreciative. But the difference between that treadmill and this treadmill right here is $500. No. Yes, this is a $1,500 VR treadmill. Now, I know what you're thinking. We're gonna actually talk about today if this treadmill is worth the money. If you wanna know more about the $1,000 option, then go back to that review I did before because it's still a good video. First, I gotta ask you guys to like and subscribe on the video because a lot of you guys don't do that. Support the channel. And if you want one of these VR treadmills, make sure you go to the link down below and use code MartyDude for $130 off. With that being said, let's get into it. Unboxing is pretty easy. It comes in a gigantic box, so if you live alone in an apartment or a multi-level house, then be sure to prepare help. There are ways to unbox it solo if you live alone, but luckily I got my wife to help me build it, and it took us a few hours because I didn't want to break anything. KatVR also gives you literally everything you need in the box, from tools to a gigantic manual, gloves, or really anything you need to put the treadmill together. And if you don't like the manual, there's also videos on their website that literally walk you through the whole setup process. It's really easy. And me being a visual learner, that's definitely saved me some more time on the more complex parts of the process. Let's also talk about the build quality of the C2 Plus. This thing is a unit. I have a pretty decent sized room and it still takes up a good bit of my play space. Now, just for reference, it's not bigger than the $1,000 C2 Core, but it still takes up a lot of space. If you're tight on space, really consider how much room you have left after setting it up. There are measurements on KatVR's website, so you have been warned. I must say though, I love the lowered design compared to the C2 Core. With the lower design, you do have to choose between being able to jump higher or squat lower. Personally, I choose the lower squatting option because my big ass ain't jumping too much. Just being honest. It also makes sitting in the seat module that comes with the treadmill 10 times easier. And yes, the C2 Plus comes with a seat module, which is pretty crazy, right? Personally, I use it all the time when I get tired during streams or I need to take a break. I'm a big fella, so I need to take a lot of breaks when I'm streaming, and the seat module definitely comes in clutch during those situations. In the KatVR gateway software that you can download from their website, you can automatically use the seat module to sense when you're riding a horse in Skyrim, or flying a ship in No Man's Sky, or even riding a tank in certain VR games. To complement that already cool feature, the treadmill also has haptics built into it, which is really freaking crazy. So you literally feel like you're flying in a spaceship or riding a horse when you're sitting down in the seat module. You can even set the haptics to react to the seating module or even react to controller vibration, or it can be triggered step by step as you take in the game. Personally, I like the step option because it gives you a little bit more interaction and immersion when you're stepping in the game, and personally, I love it. This unit also comes with these really dope LED lights at the bottom, and they make the C2 Plus look way more futuristic than the C2 Core. I love these lights. Personally, I love to be able to change the LED light color at the bottom, but I get why they didn't do it. Hopefully in another version of the treadmill, you can get it to react to steps or something cool like that. It'd probably be a pain to develop, but I feel like KatVR can do it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, because I get this question all the time, how the hell do you walk on this treadmill? So this treadmill does come with these really nice shoes, but they're not your average shoes. They're designed specifically for smooth, frictionless VR movement, and honestly, they look pretty cool to me. Now, they're not, Jordans or anything like that, but I think they have a dope design as a shoe. Each shoe houses a 10 millisecond optical 2D foot tracking sensor, kind of like a mouse. It's like a really big shoe mouse. It's kind of the way I explain it to people, but it does give you really low latency and a surprisingly precise movement. The shoes also fit really snug, and you can even add inserts in there too if you have, a certain type of arch in your foot or, any foot issues. And the fact they come with the treadmill is also really nice. I would hate to have to pay extra for these. Each pair of shoes also comes with adjustable friction strips, so it makes it kind of like a game system of how slippery your feet can be. If you're just starting out, if you've never used a VR treadmill before, you might want to use all the strips for a smoother walking experience. But being on the reckless gamer side like I am, I went full on no strips, full on expert mode. The Katwalk shoes also have anti-slip locks, which saves me a lot on stream when I'm putting on my VR headset or putting on the Gunstock for, my shooter games. And you should only wear these shoes on a treadmill, because if you walk around with them on, you can get carpet dust and just like a bunch of stuff in there. You can even mess up the shoes. So definitely be careful taking your shoes off on the treadmill if possible, because to replace these shoes, it is $150. So you might want to be smart. So how long do these shoes actually last? And that's a question I get a lot, and I think it varies by person. So I'm on the heavier side of, weight when it comes to the weight limit of the treadmill, which is 286. So my shoes do wear out a lot faster than people who may be a lot lighter, like somebody who's like 190 or 200. So definitely varies by case, but I've gone through a few pair of shoes just because I run so much on them. But if you take care of your shoes the correct way, which I could even make a video about that, then you shouldn't have to worry about having to replace your shoes anytime soon. Now for the stuff most of you are probably here for, and that is the game performance. How does a treadmill actually perform when gaming? This machine, in my opinion, is life-changing. Being someone who had a VR treadmill before, this upgrade definitely heightens the experience by a lot. On stream, I've tested this treadmill with games like Contractors VR, Contractor Showdown, Skyrim VR, No Man's Sky VR, Cold VR, and I even recently played Lethal Company in VR, which was hilarious, and you guys should check that out.
Too much money here. Too much money for me to...
Yeah, watch out for the ball! The Katwalk integration is seamless in most games that I personally play. Now, some games that have interesting locomotion systems, it may not work too well, so you can kind of switch the software to be controller priority, and you can still get your walking in. So it's definitely a mileage may vary depending on the type of games you play and depending on how the treadmill just kind of works with it. Like some people I've talked to have had some issues with the software not working too well on their favorite games, but personally, I haven't had many issues. The running experience of the C2 Plus versus the C2 Core is really no different. Both treadmills kind of operate the same when it comes to the locomotion. So walking, running, and even crouching still feels really natural, and there's really no big change there. The only difference is now the treadmill actually comes with a seat module. It'll still take most people some time to get used to the balance and coordination of using a VR treadmill, but I can promise you guys it's not hard at all. I've never failed on my treadmill, and the only time I even had an issue where I even came off of it is because I didn't do the proper maintenance like they tell you to do on the treadmill, and that was for the C2 Core. So this treadmill, I've been on my P's and Q's about tightening up my screws, make sure everything is okay. So I've never had an issue falling on the treadmill. Even through the most intense games, the thing is held up. And once you master the movement, it's an absolute game changer for VR immersion, hands down. As I said in my original C2 Core review, I originally partnered with KatVR to use VR treadmills to lose weight. I personally call it the MartydudeVR Fitness Challenge. At the beginning of the challenge, my weight was 290, which is, pretty heavy. But in terms of fitness, these VR treadmills are a crazy good cardio workout. I stream for 2 to 3 hours every Tuesday and Thursday, and I burn hella calories throughout. Like most streams, I'm literally pouring sweat by the end. My current weight is 278. That's just by casually lowering calories and hitting weights twice a week when possible. 12 pounds isn't bad, I would say, especially for 2 months of consistency. The funniest part about the C2 Plus though is how much it works you out, is that you barely notice it because of the amount of pure fun you're having while gaming. Personally, I hate regular treadmills because I get bored. I get so bored running looking at a wall. It just isn't that fun to me, man. This whole journey has been dope and legit changed how I view fitness and even my content. The VR Fitness Challenge has gotten insanely popular on TikTok, and we're literally up millions of views over the past 2 or 3 months. VR fitness aside, running around your favorite maps in a video game honestly feels insane. My biggest moments of just wow with the Treadmill was Skyrim VR and No Man's Sky. Playing Skyrim in VR already hits different, and I made a whole video on it. If you're curious about my experience, you should go check that out like now. To sum it up though, walking step by step through Whiterun or even the forest is just crazy immersive. Even walking around the planet as No Man's Sky on a treadmill is just a pure bliss experience. You feel really connected to these games, and it's just next level. To sum it up, is tiring, but so goddamn awesome. Sitting down in the treadmill mimicking a spaceship is also a really dope experience, but I will say that the treadmill can be loud. Now for me, it doesn't bother me because I've been in gyms with treadmills and stuff like that before, but to some people it can definitely be a deal breaker. Even the haptics can be a little loud. I will say this though, people in the KatVR Discord do give tips for helping reduce loudness, but like I always say, mileage may vary on that. Now, the real question is this treadmill worth $1,500? And the answer is a resounding yes for me. I personally would pay $1,500 for the Katwalk C2 Plus again if I had to. If you're balling on a budget, then the $1,000 model is totally fine. You just miss a few of the premium features, but I genuinely enjoy the Katwalk C2 Plus premium experience. I think the redesign of the backplate combined with the haptics, built-in seat module, and LEDs make this a whole next level VR and fitness experience for VR enthusiasts and people just trying to lose weight. As a person who loves VR and loves fitness, it's quite literally the most fun way to stay active I've ever used. That being said though, this is not a casual purchase. If you're serious about VR or serious about losing weight and have the budget, then I would say get a Katwalk C2 Plus. All right guys, that's it for today's review. What do you think? Is the Katwalk C2 Plus worth it for you? How was you using your VR setup? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content from your boy. And with that being said, it's me, MartydudeVR. And remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset. Peace.